Now is the time to buy 2026 and 2027 picks in your Dynasty Fantasy Football leagues. If you like Dynasty Fantasy Football, hit that like and subscribe button as we are on the way to 20,000 subscribers on the DLF YouTube channel. Now, people are saying the 2026 class stinks and that you need to be targeting the 2027 class because it is the second coming of the 2024 class. I am not going to disagree with any of those sentiments, but I do believe there is value to be had by still trading for 2026 picks. And we'll start it off when we look at the top 5 prospects for 2026. We got guys like Nico Ilamwe, quarterback out of Tennessee. Totally just butchered his name. No apologies. We'll learn it eventually. Jeremiah Love, running back out of Notre Dame. CJ Baxter, running back out of Texas. Zachariah Branch, wide receiver, formerly from USC, now with Georgia. And then Carnell Tate, wide receiver out of Ohio State. We don't really feel good about, I guess, the last 3 guys, Nico and Jeremiah Love, we feel pretty good about, but it doesn't feel super solidified. Even like we didn't love the 2025 class, but it did feel a little bit more solidified at this point and better than what we're seeing out of this 2026 class. So, of course, people are telling you to trade away those 2026 picks. Right now, if you look on Keep Trade Cut, a 2026 early first is valued somewhere around player 38 in rankings, a 2026 mid first around player 66, and a 2026 late first valued somewhere around 88 on Keep Trade Cut. Now, when we start to talk about the overall lifestyle of picks, I did want to show this overall graph by the Undroppables. Shout out to EK Baller over on Twitter. But it kind of shows, of course, where these values continue to lie. And right now, we are still at the point where these future picks, they're not even at their peak value. And so as much as, yes, these are going to go up and down, it's the stock market, I still believe now is a great time to go out and try to buy. Like if you're trying to buy a 26 early first, you're talking about guys in similar range as like a Kyler Murray, a T. Higgins, a J.J. McCarthy. And I understand that feels like a lot at this current moment. Like I don't think you have to give up a J.J. McCarthy to go get an early 2026 first. I just think that's kind of ridiculous value if asking me. I think if you're in a normal league, you could probably give away someone like a Devontae Smith for a future first that could be in that early period, and that would be something that I would be looking to do. But yeah, in the same range right now on Keep Trade Cut, you're still going to be looking at guys, like we said, like a T. Higgins, a J.J. McCarthy, a Bucky Irving. Like I said, I would kind of set my sights a little bit lower when trying to acquire one of those 2026 picks because I think a lot of people are a little bit concerned about those top 5 prospects that I just mentioned. But when you get to even a middle pick in the 2026 range, you're talking about guys like a TJ Hawkinson, a Josh Jacobs, a Chris Olave, Dak Prescott, DJ Moore. Like, sign me up, especially if I'm trying to rebuild, trading any of those players away to go get one of those 2026 mid-first round picks. Now, where would like a late 2026 first go? It's going right now, like we said, right around overall player 88 on Keep Trade Cut. So this is going behind a guy like a Colson Loveland, Ricky Pearsall, Luther Burden, Chris Godwin, Chuba Hubbard range. That's probably fair value, but I would even say most people aren't trading, Ricky Pearsall. You can't go trade your late 26 first for Ricky Pearsall. That's kind of probably a hold. But if you could trade a guy like a Jerry Jeudy for a late 2026 first, I think that's a deal I'm looking to do. A guy like a Jaden Reed, even a Tyreek Hill to go get a 2026 late first. That's something that I'm liking to do because as we saw in that overall chart by the Undroppables and even showing this chart from Dynasty Nerds, showing that asset value timeline where these picks right now, if you're looking at the chart, of course, like 2025 picks are at an absolute premium, but the 2026 picks aren't at this current moment. So I'm trying to acquire as many of those as I can because we do know that those picks are going to be going up in overall value. Now, moving on to the 2027 class, and I love talking about the 2027 class because it's absolutely goated right now for considering these picks. Now, I'm assuming Arch Manning, he's going to stay behind. There's a chance he goes to 2026 and helps solidify that class a little bit more if he only plays 1 year at Texas. But I'm assuming he's going to be like his older uncle, Peyton, and go back to Texas for his senior year, especially with NIL. There's no really incentive for him to jump in early. 2027, though, Jeremiah Smith will be the 101. Dude is the second coming of Julio Jones. Absolutely electric. DJ Lagway, Arch Manning, Ryan Williams, and then Ryan Wingo to round out the top 5. But there's a ton more guys on that list that could have made it into the overall top 5 players. But I think these guys, it's 2024 all over again, where you had Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors. I think that's the same level that we're looking at with these 2027 class. And we start to look at what these rankings look like at this current moment, the 2027 early first, so a guy that could potentially have the pick, that is Jeremiah Smith. And I know that's super hard right now to see if you're trying to trade for a really crappy team in your leagues first. Like, there's a chance they somehow turn it around by 2027. But that's going at overall player 43. So if we're looking at guys that's going around Romo Dunze, Bucky, Jonathan Taylor, kind of same level range when we're talking through 2026. And 2027 picks are more expensive. So if you're trying to go acquire them right now, as much as we looked at those timelines with Dynasty nerds, I still think that it is cheaper right now than it is going to be in the middle of the season, at the end of next season, because everyone is aware of how good this 2027 class is. And I want to go get a piece of it. Like I said, would you trade Jonathan Taylor for someone's early 2027 first? I don't know, but I don't think it's actually going to cost that if we're looking at overall rankings. I think you could probably get away with trading away a guy like a James Cook, a Jordan Addison, even somebody like a Travion Henderson, if we're talking like the 105 to 107 for someone's early 27 first right now. I think those are deals that I would be looking to do just because of how good I think that 2027 class is. If we start to look at like what is a 2027 mid-first value, going overall player 78, which is crazy. Like we said, when we were taking the advantage of here's the 2026 picks right now and keep cut versus the 2027, they are very close. And so I understand that they're close right now. So if someone's saying, hey, it's because the 2027 is already so overvalued, or hey, they're valued appropriately and they're always only going to go up. Well, if they're only going to go up and the 27 early first is already ranked as overall player 43, by the time we get to the end of the 2026 season, those 27 firsts are going to be literal gold. I would be trading away guys like a Jameson Williams, a Chase Brown, even a guy like a Jalen Waddle is kind of crazy. Even if you could flip it, if you're a contender and you're like, hey, don't really need this late 25 first and I don't know what's happening in 27, flipping a late 25 first for a 27 pick, I know that's not historically the best decision because we never like trading a first now for a later first. But based on the value that I'm seeing, if there's any chance that you can get a Jeremiah Smith or a Ryan Williams with that pick in 2 years, you're never going to feel like you lost that trade. And so I would be trying to do those type of moves if I'm trying to acquire some future pitch, because as much as all of us here tuning into DLF love to be winning, that we love to have rosters that are absolutely dominant year in and year out, sometimes we do need to go get some of these picks. We need to build for the future. And sometimes when you rebuild, it's about structuring that overall rebuild. If you would have decided in 2023 to sell out all of your contending assets and get first for 2024, I mean, you could have ended up with a roster with Jane Daniels, Malik Neighbors, Brock Bowers, and you're probably sitting, at least you made the playoffs last year, if not sitting really pretty heading into this 2025 rookie draft. And I think as much as we are seeing that the 2026 class might be weak, if you still set yourself up with these next two classes to have a ton of picks and to have a ton of flexibility, that's only going to leave your roster in a better spot as we are projecting our picks and our overall dynasty values going forward. And I understand we never just want to look at the overall value of our team. Like if you go on Dynasty Daddy and you look at the contending view and then you just look at the overall like roster accumulation, your roster value, that's always what I care more about, because Dynasty, we love to win championships when it's a game in and game out. But when we can win and sustain dynasties over years, when we can win our league fee 2, 3, 4 years in a row because we absolutely set ourselves up to be dominant like that, that's what I want you guys to be doing. And that's why you're here tuning into the channel. So like I said, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Hit that like and subscribe button. We are on the way to 20,000 subscribers. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.